Hello everyone, this is Parag Rai once again. I'm welcoming you to Meet and Talks with Parag in YouTube in my channel where we discuss and review summary on any particular book that I have come across, I have read and found it would be useful for each and everyone across the globe. So keeping that in mind, today I have come up with a very interesting book with a very interesting habit and a learning that has been comprised and hidden in this particular book. So before that, let me drag you to the childhood memories. During my childhood, it was an habit, for my father to pull the bed sheet every day in the morning and wake me up. Parag, you have to wake up. Parag, you have to wake up. It's 5 a.m. in the morning. Every day he has to pull my bedsheet up and ask me to, you have to wake up. In reply, I used to be like praying, please let me sleep for at least half an hour or 1 hour so, because school will start by 7:30 and 8, and if I woke up by 6 a.m., that is well and enough. I'll get ready. But he would make sure that would not sleep after 5 a.m. and I have to be uh, either in the field outside doing some activities or something, but we should not sleep on the bed after 5 a.m. in the morning. So that was a consistent practice by my father each and every day to pull up the bed sheet and wake me up before 5 a.m. in the morning every day. And he has to tell us you have to utilize this time not only for any physical activity or any yoga or exercises, but also to gain some knowledge from different sources. Maybe watch some news, listen some good talks, maybe read some papers or read some magazines, but don't waste this time by sleeping. So afterwards, when I started to grow up, I went to college, and this practice of waking up 5 p.m. has diminishing slowly, slowly, and slowly. But the last year, it's been 1 year, I again inculcate this particular practice to wake up early in the morning by 5 a.m. And it has come up with a very good result in my life. Then when I got a chance to read a book titled The 5 a.m. Club, authored by Ravin Sharma, on that I'm going to give a review and summaries that opened my vision in a broader way. I found that whatever my father was suggesting and telling and instructing on those days of my school is completely being requested by the author and a lot of people, successful people, and the great people in the world to inculcate that practice as well, because you will get 100% of profit out of this particular practice. So I hope this kind of experience you also have during your childhood, where your parents used to be insisting and urging you to go to bed early in the evening after dinner and wake up early in the morning. So keeping that in mind, let's start and jump this particular book, who is actually having some rational and logical thoughts with a reason why you should wake up 5 a.m. in the morning and how you should wake up and what you will do in this particular time period. It has been beautifully explained in a storytelling voice by Mr. Ravin Sharma. Let's have a look. As you all know, in my channel Meet and Talks with Parag, as far as book summaries and review has been concerned, I give book reviews and summary in three segments. First, I talk about the structure, economic factors, user accessibility, and availability of the book. Second, I talk about the summaries, learning that has been comprised, all the stories, complete story in the book, and the learnings that influenced me in my life. Third segment, the third one will talk about my personal perception and the feedback on the book. Apart from that, how this book has been accepted globally and the reviews by the global readers. So let's start with segment one. The book comprises of 16 chapters and 337 pages. The book is available in hard bookstores and online as well. The price in hard bookstores and e-commerce website who does sell books is 222 rupees and above. But the good news is in Amazon Kindle, which I always prefer to read books in, is available only in 172 rupees. So which is very nominal and accessible in I would say if you will have this Amazon Kindle, you can easily read wherever you want, whenever you want. It's always good to have it. Now, this is where I would recommend to read each book in a very useful and very useful manner. So now let me just find the book in Amazon Kindle and I'll tell you exactly what the price that I have just now uttered. The book you will find in Amazon Kindle. It's available in 117 rupees. So with this, let's start with the reviews part. The book has received 1500 plus reviews across the globe, where 1000 plus reviews has been 5 out of 5 stars. with more than a good stars, and rest other stars are lying between 3 stars to the 4 stars. Now let's start the second segment where I'll tell you a story. The chapters starting from the chapter 1 to chapter 6, 5 or 6, there is this thriller, suspense the author has created before moving towards the learning. So that was a scenario of the conference. In the conference, there was a female entrepreneur, specifically and her friend. During the conference was all about a spellbinder. Spellbinder is no one else who just show some tricks to hold your vision and show some magic tricks along with some leadership languages, successful mantras to all the entrepreneurs and other viewers and audience present in that conference. During this conference, when the conference has come to an end, then he found the female entrepreneur and her friend. They found the spellbinder has done with the conference, and everybody started to leave. The same time, these two people saw and met another unknown person who seems to a very uh, mediocre family person, economically not that much strength in good clothes that he was wearing. But when he started to talk with these two people, the female entrepreneur found that the branded wristwatch that a guy was wearing was really costly, need to be talked on. So he started to discuss with him a little more, and finally they found this person is a secret billionaire. When their discussion moved further, the billionaire gave them a proposal. Proposal was like this: the billionaire wanted to pass the knowledge that he used to be received from the spellbounder till now, and they have to pay for it. Second condition: this female entrepreneur and her friend has to travel to this secret billionaire's private island for this conference or a meet. So initially, these two-person entrepreneurs and this artist, the entrepreneur's friend, they were not agreed to go with this unknown person. But after that, when in the next day morning, the billionaire has sent a Rolls Royce to receive these two people, then this is amazed and surprised. Who is this person and sending this costly and branded vehicle to pick them up? And finally, they found there was a private jet there to take them, flew away to the private island. So when they were about to enter the private jet, the entrepreneur noticed there was something secret code has written in the flight, which is 5AC. So when he asked the secret billionaire what exactly the 5AC means, he replied 5M Club. That stands for 5AC. So whoever in this land is really successful after knowing the secret and the strength in this 5M wake up, they were being added to this club. So after the introduction happened, they knew each other, they then traveled to the private island. The next morning, they finalized to set up a meeting to discuss on it. And the way of discussion was in the outside a room, because the billionaire has taken them to the nearby sea beach where he has opened air, very familiar environment and very sweet breeze and a calm and quiet place. Now he told why one should wake up by 5 a.m. in the morning. Two things: you should know the purpose behind it, and why we need what we need to do, why it's the purpose of waking up 5 a.m. in the morning. To be successful, we need to use our mind at the fullest. For that, two factors needed: mental capacity and the cognitive bandwidth enhancement. The mental capacity to think, the bandwidth of cognitive enhancement to take effective decisions. These two factors we need to do, so that we need to work at 5 a.m. in the morning. Now, what will happen if we'll work on these two things, mental capacity and the cognitive bandwidth? The transient of hypofrontality would be the positive output as a positive out of it. That means the flow of thinking, similar kind of thinking in a particular period of time will be generated in your mind. So that will help you not to deviate from your goal. Right? Now, what exactly will happen if you will wake up 5 a.m. in the morning? So two things will happen. Please listen carefully. The author Ravin Sharma has proved it very logically by mentioning chemical changes and development that will happen in our body. The first one, in this particular 5 a.m. in the morning, there is a part of our brain which is called prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex that will stop temporarily in this particular period of time, 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. So as a good output of this particular activity, the temporary shutdown of prefrontal cortex in the brain, the worried, the factors for tension, overthinking, uh, stress, these kind of uh, factors will not be created in the brain. So your brain will be peace and relax. When the brain will and mind will be peace and relax, two interesting hormones, the chemicals will be started to flow in the brain, which will help you in neurotransmission. First one, dopamine, another one, serotonin. So dopamine and serotonin has the strongest hormone that will create a focusing factor in your brain to focus on a particular goal. So that will help you taking effective decision and decide and take action on your goal. Now keep explaining this. Now how this particular activity, waking up 5 a.m. in the morning, help, what exactly the greatest leader do? Three things author has mentioned. They always focus on one thing at a time. They focus on consistently on that. Third one, they do 20, 20 and 20 activity. Every day 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. they spend 20 minutes on physical activity, next 20 minutes on mental activity, next 20 minutes on generating the mindfulness by reading, by enhancing their knowledge. That's where the author is suggesting, recommending to all of us to use the 5 p.m. to 6 a.m. not in the bed, but segregating in the time minutes, physical activity for 20 minutes, mental activity for 20 minutes, and reading, knowledge and enhancing for 20 minutes. Now, it's not mandatory that we follow the same statistics. You can spend 30 minutes in physical activity and next 30 minutes in other one activity out of reading or mental activity. So that's not mandatory, but you have to utilize this 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. Adding value to it, he has mentioned there was a study by researcher psychologist Andrews Erickson. He mentioned the group of people he has taken as a target customer audience. Whoever has spent 2.75 hours every day for 10 years, they were the greatest leader and the output givers. Isn't it so interesting? I hope with this book reviews and summaries and the output and the values, you will definitely start to wake up early in the morning. The reviews from my side, it was a really great book to get inside. People across the globe has given a positive reviews in the Amazon Kindle as well. Stay tuned with this channel to know more books and reviews and help yourself. Stay tuned with Me Time Talks with Parag and try to wake up tomorrow morning onwards 5 p.m. in the morning and try to join the club 5 p.m. club. Stay tuned.